Hey, what's up, you guys? It's about 10:20 in the evening here on Tuesday evening. I thought I'd do my recap now. I promised everybody a recap from mine and my dad's day on Stockton this past Sunday. I mentioned in a post that I'd been doing the same thing that I've been doing the last 4 months since the water got about 55, 58 degrees ish. So that's what I've been doing. Right here, this is what my dad caught every single one of his fish on right here, a weightless wacky worm. You see that color right there? It's getting more and more difficult to find. My first cast of the day on this right here is a Super Spook. Caught a 17.5 inch bass on my very first cast of the day, and literally everything else throughout the rest of the day came on the Super Spook Junior on this lure right here. I'm not even kidding you, y'all. I have been using those two lures right there for the last 4 months. Every tournament I've fished, I learned a long time ago about fishing your strengths, and I can tell you right now with 100% accuracy that my strength is not deep. If I have to fish deep, I can. I know how, but it is not my strength. My strength is finding fish in less than 15 feet of water and getting them to bite. And I can tell you every single one of our fish came in less than 3 feet of water on Sunday. And the thing is, we were near deep water, just like you are in the early spring. The fish move up on warm days, but they're near deep water on those channel swing banks in the backs of pockets and things like that. We were near deep water. And what I mean by that is the boat was sitting in about 12 to 15 feet of water. We were casting to the bank, and on the other side of the boat was anywhere from 15 to 50 feet deep, less than a boat length on the back side of us. So we were up in river arms. I'm not a true river rat by any means, but I love dirtier water. I love fishing creek arms of our lakes, and I know several of the creek arms of Stockton very well. And my dad and I had a very good day. We had a limit before 7:30. We were culling by 8 o'clock. We culled all 5 of our fish out that we caught earlier in the morning, but we still only had the 1335. We just didn't have that big bite. Granted, if we would have gone out a little deeper, saved a little bit of time, maybe done some pre-fishing, found some bigger fish, deeper on those points, deeper on those deeper brush piles, maybe we would have had a better day. I think 1684 won the tournament with a 5-pound kicker. So, but my next event, the Solo Pro, is coming up this Sunday, the 19th. I'm going to be down on Bull Shoals. It's 30 feet high, and that's 30 sea level feet high. So every sea level foot on our reservoirs in Missouri that we are high, that is approximately 7 to 10 feet up the bank. So you can imagine we're 30 feet high on Bull Shoals. There's very few places to launch a boat right now. I'm told the water's very high, very clear. I've been doing a lot of research. Been doing a lot of studying, been looking at my maps, looking at my contour lines, trying to talk to some guys I know that have been fishing down there. But guess what? I'm going to be using this, and this is a Lew's Custom 6.8 to 1. This is Vicious Ultimate Monofilament 20 pound. I took all the braid off my bait casters. I was losing a lot of fish, and I want to show you guys something that somebody showed me about swim baits and topwater lures. If you look at that, there's a double split ring on both those hooks, besides there being a feathered hook. All right, I like the red front hook, but I want to show you that double split ring. That's going to help reduce twist when the fish are jumping out of the water and going crazy. And I honestly really like the monofilament on the top waters because of that stretch. I don't pull that lure out of the fish's mouth. I was pulling the bait, frankly, out of the fish's mouth with the braid. I did not lose a fish on this. Did not lose a fish this past Sunday. In the last 3 tournaments that I fished this bait and caught fish, I was losing good fish on this. Guess what else I'm gonna throw? I'm gonna throw this. This is a Lew's custom spinning reel, 6.2-to-1 gear ratio. This is Vicious 20-pound braid and a Vicious Pro Elite 8-pound fluorocarbon. And I like a really, really, really long leader for numerous reasons. I'm 6'4". I have a big wingspan. So my leader is approximately 3.5 to 4 of my wingspan. That, if I'm in clear water, that allows me lots of invisibility with the fluorocarbon, and it allows me to retie a lot of times. This is a Trocar Nico hook and a number 2. And I love this setup. This is a Lew's custom speed stick. This is a 7'2". You guys have seen this multiple videos here. This is a 7'2" medium action. This is a moderate. I like the moderate because I like the load. You know, a lot of your crankbait rods are going to be moderate action, moderate fast for that load capability of the crankbait, so you don't pull it out of the fish's mouth. So that's what I'm doing. You know, for bull shoals though, I'm telling you what, there's a couple areas I'm not going to tell you because some of my competitors I know watch these videos, but there's a couple places on bull shoals that I grew up fishing with my dad that I'm familiar with when the water's high, when the water's this high. It has been a long time since I've been to bull shoals when it's this high, but I know what I'm looking for right now. Believe it or not, I've actually been watching a very popular fishing show that filmed about this time of year, potentially, when the water was high last year. And they're kind of in the area, one of the areas that I want to check out and doing one of the things that I want to do. But I'm prepared from the surface to about 30 foot. If I have to go much more than 30 foot, I might be in trouble getting the flutter spoons and the drop shots and things like that up. But I have everything from a shaky head with 6-pound test line all the way up to pretty good size swim bait on a single hook with 25-pound fluorocarbon, and the swim bait's probably, you know, may or may not be between 4 and 7 inches long. I'll just kind of leave it at that. A buddy of mine may or may not have made a couple things for me. So got a few tricks up my sleeve, and I'm looking forward to bull shoals. I'm looking forward to moving up in points. If my dad and I stay consistent, you know, I had a lot of guys say, you know, you guys are consistent. We were 0.11 pounds away from a check, which is extremely frustrating to me. I'm an extremely competitive person. I never played a game of anything in my life that I didn't try to win. So coming that close and not cashing a check is extremely frustrating to me. I haven't had 100% execution in my solo pro events thus far. So I'm looking to fish a clean event. Sunday we fished clean. Our biggest fish was 319. Honestly, we might have had one fish in there that was a little bit bigger, but not by much. But we fished clean. I did not lose a fish on the Zara Spook. I had a few fish that kind of swirled on it and didn't get it. My dad did not lose any really big fish, any really quality fish on the Wacky Worm. That's what all his fish came on. So we had a really good event in my mind. We've got a couple more team events coming up, and quite frankly, we fished the Joe Bass Opens, and we have a couple opportunities to fish Truman, I believe Stockton, and maybe Pomme de Terre here late in the summer. And if we continuously finish in the top 15 out of 70 boats, we very well might take the Open division in Joe Bass this year. Right now, I sit 24th out of about 120 in my first year in the Solo Pro series. So there's quite a few guys are not making the trip down to Mountain Home for this Bull Shoals event. So while I love those guys like family, I kind of hope they really don't come, because several of them are ahead of me in points, and if they don't show up and I do, I have a chance to really move up in points in my first year there and really solidify my place in the 2-day championship there for the Solo Pro. So that's what I've been doing, guys. I'm an open book. I will show you exactly what I'm using. I have these tied on. I have it tied on right here. This is a Lew's Tournament Performance Black. This is a 6'10". This is actually a rod I've adopted as a jerkbait rod because it's a 6'10" medium heavy, but it has a moderate fast tip, so it allows you to load. So I have the stretch from the 20-pound mono, I have the strength and the abrasion resistance of the 20-pound test line and the monofilament, but I have some bend in the rod, so I'm not pulling the bait away from the fish. I have a few other tricks up my sleeve. I'm not going to really show you guys right now. I'm sitting in my boat in my garage, and it is an absolute disaster. I have stuff strung out everywhere. I got rods everywhere. I have stuff everywhere. So thanks for checking my stuff out. Thanks for following me. Thanks for the encouragement. Thanks for the kind words. And remember, don't just hook them, jack them.